no chess on the board, so you'll get some more after my presentation. But I've made a little story of my own experience, and I hope it's going to be useful for you, because I was trying to put down the things that I've learned from chess and that have helped me in the real life, in other areas where I've been active and working and doing some projects. And also some principles that might be useful for you if you pursue your career in chess. Since, you know, as Anna said, I've been a semi-professional chess player for many years. I started when I was 8. And there are so many things that chess can teach us for the real life, and then that you also learn from chess to be used in your sports career, if it happens to be the one. So yes, I am from Latvia. Latvia is a small country, less than 2 million people, but a very nice one. It's part of Europe, so right across the Atlantic Ocean you would find the country. Those who follow the ice hockey game, I think it was 2 days ago when our team lost against yours 6-0. So we are proud of our ice hockey team, but yours is so much better. I was born in and started my chess career in Kuldīga. Kuldīga is a little town with 14,000 inhabitants, but with great chess traditions. As I said, I started when I was 8, and it was so that our chess coach, I didn't know who was the gentleman back then yet, they were actually going to schools and trying to collect the young kids, trying to engage them in the chess activities. So I remember that I was in the Form 2, and we had one class, and then our sports teacher and a strange gentleman in a winter hat came into the room and suggested us to go in for the chess. I didn't know what the chess was, yes, but I raised my hand, the same as I think almost everyone in the class, and the next day we ended up at the chess club. We went there. There is a little yellow building with green doors, and we were standing there like, you know, 20 kids, and we were all afraid to enter. So everyone was, you know, considering me being a little bit braver than the others, and they pushed me ahead. So I entered the first, and I'm laughing that I entered the first and never came out. Yes, so okay, physically, of course, I've been graduating. I graduated from the chess club and chess and sports schools already many years ago, but mentally, of course, I'm still part of this wonderful chess world that has helped me so much in the life, and that gives me a lot of self-confidence and power being part of it, feeling that you are part of a bigger community, bigger society, of a family. And we are human beings. We like to be belonging and have this feeling of being belonging to some community. That makes us stronger. So I come from an average family, so that's my mom, my dad, that's me, and I've got one brother, a year younger than I am, my grandmother, who's always been an inspirational person for me. So, but we lived in a very modest conditions. So my parents would not be able to cover the cost of my education or send me abroad or anyhow support much, because I was born in 1981. In the early 90s, we regained our independence from the Soviet Union, so the resources were scarce, and sometimes, you know, I really remember that my dad, he cut the slice of the sausage, and he put it up and was showing us to the kids. Of course, it was a joke, but in every joke there is, you know, part of the reality. So he was putting up it to the lamp, and I was showing, so kids, from now on, we are going to cut the sausage like this so that we could see the light through it. Yes. No, it was, I mean, I still remember it very strongly, because sometimes it was really, really bad. But, you know, the chess world, that was the one that gave me the pleasure. That was the one that actually opened so many doors, and that was the one, I believe, because of what I can stand here with you today. And I have had a great career as well, because that training that I was doing there, that makes us stronger and more competitive, more and better prepared for the real life as well. So in chess, yes, so this is one of my coaches. This is the first coach. This is the second coach. He's still like my father. I'm still in contact with him. And when I go to Kuldiga, we have some chess training and some parties normally. But yes, my chess career, if I have to mention a few things, I'm a woman chess grandmaster. I've been the leader of our national team since 1998. My first Olympiad was in Elista in Kalmykia back then. I've been 2 times the European chess champion under 18, the second in the world under 16. So when I was at the young age, I was actively playing and succeeding. 4 times the Latvian national champion. And yeah, you can see a few of the cups from the European events. So I've been doing my chess career, and that has been also quite successful, until the moment when I finished the school and entered the university. I quit the professional chess. I never let it go. It always remained as an important part of my life. Even when I was later a minister of my country, I still continued playing. I'm playing in 2 foreign clubs, 1 German club, 1 Swedish club, because that's my way how I get away from the everyday life. That's my meditation, if I may say so, because then I switch when I'm at the chess tournament. I don't know how it is with you girls, but I totally lose the sense of the time. If you would ask the name of my mother, I would think, yes, a little bit longer than usually, because you know, you need to be concentrated fully, so you forget about other things, all the good and also bad and stressful ones. So it's kind of a, you know, different world which you enter, and that's very important for me to have this place of rescue still, whatever I do in my life. So about my professional career, yes, now I work for FIDE for 2 years already. Before that, for 10 years, I was active in the Latvian politics. I was the member of the parliament. I was the Minister of Economic Affairs. I was the Minister of Finance. And still before this political career, I was also the director of High Technology Park in the region and the city where I was studying. Also, I remained there to work, and I was engaged in space projects. So this is me hanging there. So Latvia has only 1 satellite. And that's one of my projects as well. So I've been doing very many different things in my life. And whatever I was doing, as I said, those skills that came from chess helped me a lot. So I'm gonna share a few of those principles and ideas that might be useful for you as well, that you can take into your pocket with you. So do you know what is the name of the chess goddess? We've got the goddess, you know, yes? Kaisa, yes. Did you know? Yeah, we've got our goddess. So this is her picture. Okay, different ones, I mean, but this is one of her pictures. So Kaisa, and I like to say that Kaisa is a very, you know, jealous lady. It is so, and that was also one of the reasons why I quit professional chess, and I decided that, okay, I'll play chess as long as I can, but I would not call myself professional, because I thought that, first of all, I couldn't afford myself to become a professional back then. As I told you, my family was not able to cover the cost of the training that I already needed at that level. If I wanted to go further, you need to go to the tournaments, you need to train full time. It costs something, yes. So, but I also thought that I'm so much interested in many other things, yes, that, oh, it's hardly that I could become the world chess champion, yes, and for me being a true professional, for me it was anything less than the world chess champion was not enough, yes. So because I know that you need to devote 100% of yourself if you become a professional chess player to climb the Olympus, yes. That's the tough thing. But on the other hand, because otherwise she will penalize you. Yes, I've been suffering myself so often. You know, I go to some tournaments and not prepared very well. and then I blunder something, you know, a queen or something. And how can I play? I mean, you're a grandmaster. How can you make these moves? But then I understand, okay, yes, it's Kaisa who is reminding about herself, yes. But the good thing is that it works also in the opposite way. I really believe that you can earn the luck. So if you have done everything that is in your forces and try to prepare, then you will have deserved her help, or the help from the above, or whatever, call it a luck. You will be in the right place in the right time. You'll meet the right people when you need it, and the same works in chess. You will just be lucky in the very unexpected moments. Yes, so you can earn the luck, but anyhow, at the very basis of it, it is a lot of work. There's unfortunately no easy way up to the mountain. You can go around it many times, but it will be necessary to make these hard, sometimes very hard steps upwards that will take a lot of effort from you. And you know, many people have asked me in various interviews, so what's more important to become a champion? Is it a talent or a work? So what's your opinion? What's more important? Talent? Both. Both. I also believe that both are needed, because if you have some preconditions, some special skills or abilities, it's worth to look for them actually and try to develop it. But you will have to work a lot to succeed as well. And you would see quite often there are the cases where there is one talented lady or boy, yes, and one who works hard. And if the talented one becomes lazy, you would see that in a while the ones who work hard would overcome those talented ones. Yes, chess is a great game, and that has also helped me in politics and in the other areas, that teaches you to first respect your opponent. Yes, what do we do in the beginning of the game? What do we do in the beginning? We shake hands, right? After the game, what do we do after the game? We shake hands, even if we have lost and our heart is broken and we sometimes feel that's not fair that I lost. Yes, we have to overcome us and we have to greet the opponent who did a good job. Yes, so that's sometimes difficult, but we've been doing already it so many times that we also learn that in the real life, I mean, if a person is your opponent, and quite often there would be the cases that even the nicest persons might become your opponents. Yes, in politics, that's one area of the life where you would have a permanent competition with the others. If you choose this career path, you learn how to respect your opponent. But you also learn that you are not the only one in the game. This is also very important to remember while you are playing chess and while you are also doing many other things. So you can have your best intentions, you can have your smartest plans, but if you would think about the game only from your perspective, you would lose it. If you would forget that your opponent also wants to do something and has got some plans and some ideas you should count with, I mean, it would be a failure. So chess is a nice game that you always remember that there is an opponent out there. Yes. So my coach, since the childhood, they were teaching me, you shouldn't be concentrating on your opponents. You should be concentrating on the position and try to calculate and make the best moves possible. You should play with and against the pieces. I never learned that. And I think that actually I did the right thing. I always played against the opponent. First, because for me personally, it's important to have this sense of having the opponent. Chess is actually a very strong interaction of two human beings. You sit against each other, and sometimes you spend several hours sitting and playing against the person. So you feel him or her even if you don't want to. Yes, you cannot distance yourself from the opponent. But also I think for me, this emotional part and this psychological fight has always been a very vital and probably the most exciting part of chess. And why not? I mean, if it's something that attracts you to the game, that you can try to guess what kind of personality your opponent is and use it for your own sake, I think it's the smart way to do. Even when I prepare for the opponents, I normally, before learning the special variations, special opening that I'll be playing today, c4 or knight f3 or more dynamic one e4, I still have a look what kind of games the opponent likes. So I flip through all the database of the games that I have, and quickly, and then I see the picture. Is he or she more active or a cautious player, aggressive or very good in defense? So depending on that, I would choose the opening as well. Yes, so never going there where the opponent feels him or herself very well, trying to avoid that and play the game that would more suit me. So it is about knowing your opponent. Yes, there's a saying, know your friends, but even better, know your enemies. Yes, you should know all the weaknesses and the strong spots as well if you need to fight. Preparation is very important. So I already said that you need to prepare for the game. That's also part of deserving the luck, yes. And but I wanted to give you a little trick. Sometimes it is so that however much you would try to find the weaknesses in the opponent's playing style, you would not find one, because the higher the level, the less chance that you would have a weak player playing against you. He or her most probably are as talented as you are, would have been working as much as you have been working, would have spent a lot of hours sweating and suffering to get better. Yes, so sometimes for me it was also the case that whatever I try to do, I cannot find the weaknesses or weak spots in the opponent's game. So then I do the reverse thing. I think of the fact that, of course, he or she would also analyze my games and try to find my weak spots. So the best preparation then is to not look for the Achilles heel. You know what's the Achilles heel, yes? Of the opponent or the weakest spot. But try to get rid of yours and prepare a Trojan horse. Do you know what is the Trojan horse? If not, then check it out afterwards. These stories are useful to know. Yes, so I get to my weaknesses, I get rid of them, I prepare something, and then I sit and wait for her to come. Yes, and normally they come. Yes, they come for your weak spots. And if you have prepared something special, you are much better prepared. So to be strong, or your strength, it's quite often not about you having a million strong sides, but it is about you being able to see, to acknowledge your weaknesses and get rid of them. You're as strong as your weakest spot is. Strategy and tactics. My coach, again, always taught me, you have to play safe, so that at every moment you have the draw in your pocket. Yes, this works if you play against the approximately, more or less approximately equal opponents. But then I learned that if you play against somebody who is much more stronger than you are, no, this would be the way how you would just lose. To play safe, you would just be overplayed by the mastery of the opponent. So then you have to do the opposite. Then it's worth actually to play a little bit more extraordinary, to take more risks, to destroy the balance. And then you will have a better chance as well. Sometimes, for example, if you also go to some work interviews, yes, so, and you know that probably there are so many candidates, especially if you are young, right after the school, many others would have the better CVs, huge experiences. So how can you compete if you just give your document and you see, there's one line and here's 5 lines, yes, of experience. So try to think of something special, how you could be different, yes? If you cannot be better, in a nominal way better, try to be different and more special. So suggest some extraordinary idea, or be more interesting with your appearance, with the way you speak, you talk. Never lose the respect, but you can surprise, and then the person would think, oh, okay, better experience? but a little bit more boring than this young lady coming here and surprising me, yes? So you've got the better chance there. Learning from the mistakes. You know, everyone knows that if you have lost the game, we have to analyze it. We have to look for the mistakes. If there's any failure, then most probably there's a mistake. So we try to get rid of them. But only the champions do remember that, that you have to look for your mistakes also in the victories, in the games that you have won, because there is no universal, no perfect game possible. The game itself, it is universal and it's perfect. But the problem is that our mind, the human brain, is limited. We cannot play a perfect game. Yes, there always would be some imprecisions, some mistakes, which makes it again beautiful. I mean, if both human beings would be playing a perfect game, then it's just, you know, let the two computers play. But it is actually wise to revise your victories as well, and not to just, you know, forget about those, even if you have been happy and you've played a very good game. So this was, I think, a smart thing that my coach also trained me, and not to forget. And I read that the same idea was actually coming somewhere, I don't remember where and when, from Garry Kasparov. He also highlighted this idea that it is very much necessary to look for the mistakes, even if you think that you are perfect. You've got to get a plan. My coach said, oh, even a bad plan is a better one than no plan. You are young. Most of you probably do not know this guy. That's Mr. Fix. There is a cartoon from my childhood. I just remember him so well, and I wanted to use his image. There's this cartoon, 80 days around the world. So there were the good guys trying to travel around the world, and this one was the evil guy who was always trying to distort their trip, you know, and somehow create some problems. And he always failed, but then he always got some new ideas, some new plans. And there is the episode when he was asked, so, Mr. Fix, have you got a plan? He's like, have I got a plan? Have I got a plan? I got even 2 plans, yes. So he's always got a plan, because chess is really, if people call it a strategy game, that's right. But if you look deeper, actually, it is 99% about tactics. You first need to define the plan, the goal, where you want to go, and then the rest is about how you are going to get there. So in the life as well, I mean, we cannot build our big life plans for the whole life and for 100 years, and even more so, you know, people think that God does, yes. So there would be many unexpected things in your life that do not depend on you. But it's better really to understand what do you want to do, and then you will be much more clear about how to get there. Smart use of resources. Have you ever read The Little Prince? That's one of my favorite books. Yes? Cool. If not, try to read it. It's a very small book. Exupéry is the author. I think you'll get many nice ideas, because it has many dimensions or layers. For the kids, it's interesting to read, but for the grown-ups, there's so deep thoughts and concepts to take with you. And there is one. There was one episode. There is a little planet, and on this planet there is a kingdom with a king who didn't have many people to rule over. He had one rat, I guess, yes, but he also had a general. So and then the debate was between the prince and the king. So and the king was asking, so do you think if I make an order to my general to turn into a seagull and he doesn't do that, is it my fault or his fault that he doesn't execute? And the prince was saying, quite firmly, you would be the one to be blamed. Why? Because the king would be giving the wrong orders, right? Any general would try to execute and do their utmost to execute the orders, yes? But if it's mission impossible, they would fail. And then, of course, it is the problem of the king, of the one who gives the order, and it's their fault. So this is, I think, a very good thing to take with you in the real life. If you are a boss, many of you will be the lady leaders and taking the leading positions, creating your teams, giving the orders to your people. Understand what they can and what they cannot do, and ask from them only those things that they are able to execute. Also, don't forget to ask them what they do want to do in their lives. For example, in 5 years' time, if your boss would approach you and really seriously ask you, what's your name?
Olya.
Olya. Olya, what would you like to do in 5 years' time? So what's your aspirations? Do you want to work for us? Do you want to do something else? So first, you would be probably surprised, yes. But secondly, I believe that if I see that somebody really takes care about me and wants to know and is interested in my future, in my career, and wants to facilitate it, I'm also much more eager to help him or her, right? So it's a little trick, but it makes such a difference. I mean, if you know what your team, what your people, what your employees want to do, and you can help them, they will help you. And that's a good trade. But the same works for chess. If you are trained in chess, you remember, develop your pieces, fight for the center, secure the king, right? And then only attack the opponent. Why? The first thing is to develop the pieces. This is an army. You know that chess was invented where? In India, yes. And this resembles the army of that time, Indian forces. So the king, the queen, that time a vizier, a man, not a lady. It became a lady and a queen, and such powerful only in, I think it was 15th century in Spain, when Queen Isabel demonstrated her strength and her dedication in one of the important wars. And thanks to that, the queen was, or vizier was renamed, and the rules were changed. Back then, the queen was able to walk only one step to every direction, but always had to remain close to the king, to protect the king. So vizier, nowadays bishop, back then elephant, yes, cavalry, and the carriage carrying the, what is this? Shots, big guns, yes. Big guns, and then excuse me? Yeah, then the regular soldiers. So, if your army, if your soldiers are sitting behind, you know, in casarms doing nothing, how can you win the war? Yes, not possible. So what you have to do, you have to put them and locate them in the best possible places so that they work to all the directions as good as possible, and then they can help you. Yes, I think it was Paul Morphy who also said, help your pieces so that they can help you. Yes, develop them, put them into the best positions, and then they will be ready to serve you. So never put the bishop, for example, here. It's a strange, no, here, yes, and close the way of the bishop. I called such bishop like the bishop has the hat put on his eyes. He cannot see anything. If he cannot see anything, he cannot help you in your game, yes? If the bishop is playing here, it needs to see as far as possible. Then, even from the very hidden position, it would work like a sniper. Shoot far and help you in a very unexpected ways, yes? The same for the knights. If you put it on the side of the board, it's not functional because it controls only half of the squares compared to the position in the center, 8 compared to 4, yes? So if you put the knight on the side, only do it if you want to proceed to a better place, yes? So that's a little chess as well. I promised not to do that. Sorry. Yes, decision-making process. Chess is actually very good in training us to make the decisions. I've been a politician for 10 years. I know so many cases where people are thinking, promising, and quite often never making decisions, yeah, to some project or idea to come through. And then the time flies, and you hear the same ideas, the same project are being presented before every new elections, yes, because decision making also requires a certain rate of responsibility. The one who takes the decision needs to take also the consequences. And especially in politics, not all the necessary decisions, not all the necessary projects are very popular ones, yes? So, for example, if you are, I've been a Minister of Finance and I introduced a tax reform. Of course, the tax reform was accepted controversially, because if everyone would have been happy, that would mean that that is not a true reform. You cannot satisfy all. For example, we introduced the progressive tax rate. That means that the people who have less income pay less taxes. But then again, of course, I got the opposition, and many people were angry because the wealthier ones had to pay more. Yes, that's one example. So in chess, you are trained to take the decisions. Every move you make, and normally the game lasts like 20, 30, 40, sometimes 100 and more moves, right? You are trained to take the decision. You calculate, you try to remember what you've learned at home. You try to estimate the position of the future, yes. You try to get rid of the unnecessary variations, so deduction is also trained, and already concentrate on the few best options, yes. And then sometimes you also rely on intuition. We girls sometimes do that, yes, and we're good at that. And then you need to take a move, and you do that because time is also a factor, right? Which is also important, that you cannot stay and think there forever. Yes, what is important, it is, yes, to think fast and think slowly at the same time, and try to, in every position, also see it from the different perspective. I'll come back to it later as well. But not to calculate and look only a few variations that first come to your mind. I don't remember which of the world chess champions said that if you see the best move, don't rush. Look for the second option. And quite often you would see that, giving it a second thought, you get better alternatives. If you want to succeed, you need to be brave and responsible. You need to do things that others have not done in their lives first, because they have not been brave enough, or for some other reasons. And when, normally when a person says, if I tell to you, you have to be brave, yes? The first thing everyone knows, so what does it mean to be brave? It means that we should not, swim along the stream, yes? And the first reaction is, if you're not supposed to swim along the street or go along the stream, you want to go against the stream, yes? This is possible. This is possible. To be different, yes, to get also some attention. But I would say that's not something that I would suggest being done, because normally going against the stream, quite often it is also a destructive process, because you then fight against the people, you then fight against the ideas. You are sometimes destroying some things, and then the question is, okay, you managed, but what next? If this part, the productive part, would be missing, if people would see that, okay, you were very good while fighting against her, yes? But now, when she has lost and you've won, and you said, okay, now I'm the boss here, and they would see, okay, so far so good. But if they would see that you don't have your own ideas what to suggest instead of the previous ones, you would use your credibility that you would never probably be able to restore. So my trick is that don't go against the stream, create your own stream. Because creating your own stream, giving new ideas, suggesting new projects, like, we got an idea, okay, Latvia needs to develop the space technologies. Let's build a satellite. So, satellite, Latvia, why? But then, satellite, there's something. Satellite, Latvia, it's kind of cool. And we build a satellite. People just, connected. They supported us, and we've got the satellite, yes? So, it's just one example from the real life. But people, when they see the leadership, new ideas, they tend to support and go after you and allocate their resources, time, passion, work, and you would be much more successful. So be brave, but try to find a way how to create your own stream, not fighting against the others so much. So, especially because life is not a sprint, it is a marathon, yes? And it is so easy to spoil your relationship with the people and lose your credibility. On the other hand, I mean, not on the other hand, it's the same. For example, in politics, many people think that, okay, now I'm the prime minister or I'm the president, that's going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. And it is so, especially in politics, one day you are here, the other day you are in the opposition or on the street, yes? Changes rapidly. So it is actually so smart to treat people in a kind, respectful way when you are up there, because that gives the chance when you will be here or here, he or she would be much more inclined to help you, to support you, to be kind to you, and probably also reach out their hand in the problematic situations when you would be willing to have their support. Compared to the situation, if you have been abusing your superior position, not being nice, not being bossy, who would like to help you when you're here? They would just probably kick you so that you fall even lower if there would be a chance. Fair play. Because of this reason also, the life is not a sprint, it is a marathon. It always pays back to follow the fair play principles. In chess as well, I do believe that if you are not following the fair play principles, for me it's not understandable because, you know, our trainers have been teaching us that you have to honor your opponent, you have to respect your opponent, you have to get to your success by your work, by your dedication, not by cheating, yes? So it's unacceptable for me that you could cheat in a game, but unfortunately you see that there are many cases in the world of chess that because of the prize, because of the fame, because of some titles, people tend to find the bypass. And first of all, the taste of the victory would be totally different. If you have earned it, you would feel the real precious moment, and the value of the victory would be so much higher compared to if you get the title. I don't even understand how can you be happy to receive a title if you know that it's not the best way you've been behaving yourself. But I really also believe in the energy conservation law, that the things that you give to the world, they always come back. If not today, probably you would celebrate the victory today, yes, but later it always comes. There's always the universal principle of balance in the world. So give more, give better to the world, and you'll get back twice as much. So change of perspective, I already told you, it's very important. It's a very important factor when you play a chess game, to be able to look at the same position from the opponent's side, to get into his or her shoes. And the simple trick is, that was also the trick from my coach, that while the opponent is thinking, stand up, walk the other side and have a look at the same position. You'll be surprised how different it looks, because you've been spending sometimes several hours trying to calculate, thinking about your own plans. And you have forgotten sometimes that, okay, the opponent has some special ideas possible as well, because of the angle of your vision as well, and your look. When you look from the different place, things look differently, really. It's like the same, I know, sometimes, you know, people who fly, they say, okay, I never thought that, oh, it's interesting, yes. When we are here, when we are so big, we think that the whole world circles around us. We are the center of the world. When you get the different perspective from, I don't know, from space, or even from a mountain, you tend to understand, okay, I'm not the biggest person in the world, yes, I'm part of the world. From the space, again, it's a totally different perspective. I mean, you understand that you're a tiny one in the whole universe, yes? So you will understand then that you are the part of this circling world, that it's not circling around you as well. It teaches you humbleness, I guess, what is very important in the life as well. And it gives you a better understanding. Even if you zoom back to you being in the center of the universe, you would be a different person if you have thought or tried to put yourself in a bigger perspective. So this is, I think, very, very important. Starting from the very practical things like a chess game, look at the same position from the other side, to the work and life as well. So how can you change the perspective? My tricks is to take some time off, because a lazy mind or slow mind is the one that can be creative. As long as you are working like a squirrel, you know, and following the pace of the life and your working day, you lose the control of yourself. You lose the control of the life, and you don't have time to sit down and think of bigger things, of new things. You're just reacting all the time, yes? But in order to create, to produce, you need to have some space around you, some time, so that you can clean your head from all the tasks that your mom, your dad, your teacher, your boss has been giving to you. Then you will generate some new ideas. Sometimes it is also actually worth asking the other people's opinions, even if you don't agree at the end of the day, and they are different from you. Even more so, you ask the opinions of the different people, because then they would force you to think. First, you will be surprised, sometimes probably even angry. We never like to listen to the critics of our ideas, but it's worth doing that because it gives you a different perspective. Why also, for example, in politics, we need the balance of women and men, because women think differently about many things compared to men. Two opinions put together, you can get the better solutions, better policies created. So ask for the other opinions and create some space for you to be lazy, slow, and be able to generate. So I do it also intentionally myself. A little prayer every day, that's my meditation. And a few days a year I get away for my silence retreat, where I spend time with myself only, not communicating with the others. And that gives me the very important source of energy and time. E-diet included. Yes, no, really. I mean, Sundays are the days working in an international organization where, there are different time zones. When we go to bed, Canada is only waking up, yes, so, or our Chinese colleagues also live in a totally different time zone. It's difficult to control your working time and rest time, and you're always online and you need to respond. But then really I forced myself to have some time. My Sundays when I'm with my family at home, that's the day when I put my phone away. I'm not distracted. I can do so many things. It's unbelievable when you don't have to react all the time or check your social media. You're so productive. Try it out, yes? Or if you go with your parents to some vacations. So that's also, we have with my family, I've got quite a big family. Twice a year we have our common vacations where we put our phones off. Okay, time to time we need to check it, but it's just that we don't put them on the table when we eat. We don't use it, keep them around when we do some physical activity, so that we can spend time with us, ourselves, and clean the minds as well. You need one point of reference. I like to say that you can turn the world around if you would have one stable point that would keep you grounded, yes? Find the one for yourself. I mean, for me, my family is the one. I mean, I've got 4 kids and a husband, yes, but I know that everything else in the life will change, but I will always, and regardless of my titles, of my positions, whatever, yes, I will always have my family there. That's my team, they take a lot of energy and effort, but they give so much as well, That's my strong back. I come to you and I'm so self-confident. I meet with the ministers. I'm so self-confident because I have this feeling and sense of belonging to my family. That gives me the sense of the strong stamina, yes? And other people also feel that, yes? If I have this special energy coming out that, yes, I'm grounded, yes? So you also need to find some, it can be family, it can be, the sense of belonging to the chess community, yes? It can be different things. You need to find your own fuel. Rituals. For me, rituals are the secret tool as well. I told you, the higher you would be there, whatever, chess, politics, business, The most probable, probably it would be that you would encounter very talented, very strong people. So these little things then make the difference. For example, if you play a chess game, the one who would be most motivated, concentrated at this very time, at this very moment, to what they have to do, they will have a superiority in the position. So that's why, for example, the mental and emotional readiness is also a very important part of every, for example, world championship match. You know, the tension level is so high. You could go into the room and you would have the feeling that you can hang the axe in the air. You know, the air is so heavy because the energy is so strong among those two people fighting for the World Chess Championship title. So the rituals help you to first calm down. For example, when I have to go to a bigger stage, making a speech to a big audience, 3 times breathing through the stomach, it calms down, you get down your heart rate, and you are a little bit better prepared to step on the stage. Less stressed, yes. When I start the game, again, I'm sitting like this. I close my eyes, I close my ears so that I don't see and feel what is around, and I talk to my pieces, to my army. It sounds funny, yes, but for me it's important that I make this connection with my wooden soldiers, yes, and they help me, they listen to me, they support me in this game. If there is a national flag in the playing venue, I always look up at it, and that gives me the sense of, okay, I'm not here alone. I'm not only representing here myself, I represent my country. That makes me somehow also, you know, stronger. So you find yours. Some other silly ones, for example, I don't know, everyone knows that sportsmen, they have their lucky T-shirts or lucky clothes, yes, and sometimes it is so that quite often it's so that they say that, okay, as long as I'm winning with this shirt, I'm not changing it. In my childhood, I was thinking, but I'm winning so often, it would not work. How would it go that the whole week I would need to wear the same shirt? So I reversed my habit. I said, I will change the clothes every day, and if I lose, I'll put it back. I put back the same clothes so that the clothes gets the revenge. So that's something that I still follow. So the clothes needs to get the revenge as well. Yes, the rituals actually help in the family life as well. Many ask me, how can you do everything? You have 4 kids, you have job, you have chess, you have so many things on your mind. So. Yes, chess also teaches you that quantity is not the quality. How often it is so that you spend your time with your kids, you're physically there, but you're not there. You're thinking of your job problems, whatever, yes, and they don't feel you. Yes, so the rituals in the family life as well help me to somehow keep the balance, because every kid also needs the sense of the security, yes, and these rituals give those, and the frame give to their life. For example, when they were smaller, whatever we were doing during the daytime, of course, if only we were back home in the same city, yes. So they knew that when they go to bed, they will have their reading. This is Winnie Pooh and his friends. Was the most favorite book. I don't know how many times I've read it to them. So we've been reading to them, and we've been singing to them. My husband sings terribly. I mean, I cannot listen to him. But for the kids, that was the most beautiful song in their life, yes? The one that he was singing to them. So we also have other rituals, like, for example, Saturday mornings, I'm always making the pancakes. That's one of the Saturday mornings. And the Sunday morning, my husband makes the oatmeal. Yes, so, you know, Saturday, pancakes, Sunday, oatmeal. But this is the first thing when I come back from the trip. They're, okay, so Saturday pancakes, they're looking forward it. Yes, that gives them these little flags that, okay, everything is fine. Mom is back, pancakes are there. Emotions. So I think whatever you do in your life, it is very important that you do it from your heart. That is why, of course, it is important to find something that you really like. Yes, it would be difficult to put your heart and emotions in the thing that you really don't like. Although there is also a trick. The more you know about your job, about your thing, and your duties, the better you will like it. And even if in the beginning you think, okay, this is not something that I prefer doing. When you master the thing and you become better, you'll like it so much. That's something that I've been also thinking when I've been reading these management books. Normally, Americans write a lot of those, telling that, oh, if you don't like your job, quit everything and start something new. That's so dangerous. That is so dangerous. I mean, you can just burn like the butterfly jumping on the fire. Yes. Because if you don't have any preconditions, any education, any understanding of the new thing that you probably like, you would most probably fail, yes? You need to understand that, again, there's no easy way to success. Even if a person seems to be very successful, be assured that he or she has been working like hell, you know? A singer, we have a nice saying, a quote of one of our Latvian poets, that a singer should never show the audience how his or her diaphragm suffers, yes? So that is the masterity, the ease of the performance that you see as a spectator, not really noticing how much work is there behind. But, okay, coming back to the emotions, people would feel the difference. And I think that that's part of the so-called charisma. Yeah? People say, okay, this is a charismatic person. I think, what is charisma? I think the difference is actually that people notice is that he or she actually puts their heart into what they do. It's like, again, art. I mean, one performance, probably, I don't know, two similarly trained, technically prepared people. One, you listen, okay, fine. The other one, you listen, I want to hear more, yes? Because you resemble and you see and feel that energy that is conveyed to you. That can be done only if somebody devotes, okay, me with the emotions, yes? And him or herself totally. Especially for women, I think it's not an easy world. I mean, if you want to become the leaders, if you want to conquer the crown of the world chess champion, and my dream is really that one day it's going to be the case that a lady will become the world chess champion, yes, not being forced to fight for it differently in a different group, yes. So it is still a men's world, and we need to expand our universe. We need to do more. We need to work with stronger energy to break the glass ceiling. I sometimes compare us to the supernovas. Supernova, when she burns, she produces so much new energy that the new galaxy is created, yes? But the only thing, ladies, is you need to create the new galaxies, but you shouldn't burn yourself out. That's the difference with the supernovas. You have to take care about yourself. You have to charge, you have to find your stable point of reference. You have to also be brave enough to ask for the help. You know, sometimes it's a problem of the strong women. They think that, okay, I have to do everything myself. Not true. You cannot do everything yourself. Don't be ashamed to ask for the support of your family, of your friends, of your colleagues, of your teammates. You will be better and stronger. Make all your resources work for you. All the pieces should be working for you. You cannot win the game just by the queen running around, yes? She also needs the support of other pieces, yes? Sometimes the pawn is the one that makes the difference. Yes, and you will have to balance your professional life, you know, being in the high positions, taking care of kids, being humble, being bossy, being, you know, whatever roles you can imagine, you will have to do it all. And one thing that I want to remind you is that if ever somebody gives you the choice of either pursuing your career, either following your dreams and going for some hobbies, or either have the family life, sometimes you will have these choices. People would tend to think and say that, oh, if you are a minister, most probably you don't take care of your kids, or you know, various presumptions would be there. It's a fake choice. You should not make the choice. You can have it, and you should have it all. You can have it all. Yes, and it's wrong to follow the path and opinions of the people who say you cannot or you should not, yes. For example, when I was a minister, quite often people were asking me, oh, dear lady, how could you manage it, yes? Most probably your kids suffer, yes? If there's a man, a minister, having 3 kids, nobody asks him, oh, poor guy, How can you manage this? Your family suffers most probably, yes? So what's the point, yes? So just be brave enough to withstand this kind of tricks, yes, that they get and try to get you into, and help the other women as well. This is also, I think, so important thing, because there have to be a representation of more women in every area of their life, so that we should not be so loud. If I'm only alone and I'm trying to suggest some ideas that are more favorable or needed for women as well, I now have to sometimes be so loud, so strong, you know, just to be heard. If there are many of us, we don't have to be loud, yes? It's just such a different power then. Yes, I like this quote of Madeleine Albright, who said that there is a special place in the hell for the women who do not help the other women. It's so much, there's so much true, especially in politics. You would sometimes see that, you know, women don't so much help the others. They would even try to fight against you a little bit more stronger, yes, because they want to keep the territory clean. I don't know, but that's the fact. So we need to, if God has given you the mandate and time to be in the leading positions, help the others, yes, empower them. Together we'll be much stronger. So here are some ladies from the chess world. I also wanted to highlight this idea that when we speak about chess, about ladies being engaged in chess, first of all, we understand that we don't want to make each and every of you the world chess champion. That's not necessary. My example is also the same. So when I understood that I'm not going to be the world chess champion, my heart was broken, because I was a professional chess player and I was aspiring and trying to do so, but then did not quit chess. I stayed there, and I feel so happy that I'm the part of the chess world. I can do so many things in the chess world. I can be the manager now in the chess world. Cool, no? So what I want to say to you is, our goal is that you become the champions of your life, not the world chess champions necessarily. Yes. Why not? Probably some would, but not everyone can and should. Yes, but there are so many other professions in the chess world as well. Chess trainer, okay, chess champion's wife, yes. Chess manager, chess trainer, chess arbiter, chess photographer, chess social media manager, chess fair play officer, Bojana, yes. So just think of the variety that you, and how can you engage in the chess world, making yourself being useful to it and contributing to it, staying there and then enjoying the world of the chess yourself as well. And I believe if you will pursue your goals, if you would have the plan, if you would use all your resources on the chessboard and beyond, you will really reach the goals others would only dare to think of. So that was my short, long lecture about chess and what you can learn from it. I hope you will find something useful for you as well. Thank you for your attention.